When I started primary school in the early 90s back in my mother country, learning English basically came from printed media books. Entertainment separately came from screens such as television, cinemas, and videos.
Literacy has traditionally been identified as the ability to read, write, and communicate. Literacy education has been dominated by written language and the medium of printed text. However, because of its dynamic nature, literacy has changed in the last 3 decades a lot, and its definition has expanded to an even larger field. Over the past 3 decades, society has been engulfed rapidly by digital connection, screen-based communication, and the global transfusion of people and ideas. At present, we are in a period dawning in electric culture and a moments away from print culture.
In this video, I'll discuss what multimodal literacy is, why it is significant, the theories that explain the concept of multiliteracy, and as teachers, how we can embed and teach the multiliteracies in primary school settings.
When you see this video clip, what are the different information delivery modes you can recognize? It has more than one mode to convey meaning to the audience, such as subtitles, spoken language, and gestures. It uses multimodal meaning-making ways. So, this is a digital multimodal text. Multimodal text combine 2 or more designing modes such as linguistic, visual, audio, gestural, and spatial elements. These modes work together to make layers of meaning. Both narrative and conceptual images can be used as visual elements in a text. Meaning is created in a text by representational aspects of an image, such as characters in the image, what they are doing, and the surroundings of the image. An image is interpersonal characteristics such as angles, distance, and contact, as well as compositional components like frame, layout, vectors, and salience work together to create the meaning of a text. The language used in a text can be either written or spoken. Grammar, vocabulary, technical language, and terminology are examples of linguistic aspects that help to express the meaning of the text. Semiotic actions in auditory modes such as music and sound effects, volume, pitch, and rhythm enhance the meaning of a written text and convert it into a multimodal text. The organization of objects in a text, such as their direction, position, proximity, and layout of objects, can also be used to create multimodal texts. Gestural elements such as facial expression, body language, movement, speed, and stillness can be used in a multimodal text. Examples of multimodal text are bimodal print-based, such as picture books or graphic novels. Digital text such as videos, apps, and ebooks. Online text such as YouTube clips, internet pages, online pages, web pages, and movies. Live performances such as stage dramas. It is no longer acceptable to consider literacy as only a language achievement. As information and multimedia technologies significantly impact everyday communication practices, multimodal literacy is a growing area of importance in literacy learning. Students today must be able to understand, react to, and create multimodal text in a variety of formats where meaning is conveyed through dynamic pairings of 2 or more modes. This is a quote from Frank Serafini, a famous educator and researcher of literacy education and children's literature. This quote describes how students construct their literacy learning using visual images accompanied by written language and design elements throughout their daily lives. In our daily lives, we come into contact with visual pictures and multimodal text that aid in our understanding of the world and the emergence of our identities. These visual data significantly impact our daily decisions, such as what food to buy, what service to take, or how to find our way around unknown places. The human can establish relationships with one another, preserve the specifics of daily events, and express feelings and ideas across time and distance by creating visual representations. When we further explore the Seraphini Code, we can recognize that people create literacy learning in social ways. Society shapes and construct literacy. Literacy practices relate to the situation and the culture's context. Therefore, this definition can be linked with Vygotsky's social constructivism theory. Vygotsky explains that knowledge constructs from interacting people with each other, their cultures and society at large through his theory. Literacy constructs meaning not by an individual alone, but by interacting with the community. In multimodal literacy, readers become active, purposeful agents in constructing meaning while reading. Multimodal literacy caters for a range of diverse learners, such as visual learners. It is attractive, inviting, and engaging, which helps not to distract from the text. Multimodal literacy teaches students to make creative and purposeful decisions about communicating effectively to a particular audience, as well as encourage students to understand the way media shapes their world. As I mentioned earlier in this video, young people must learn to comprehend, respond to, and compose meaning through multimodal text in diverse forms. To do this, students must learn how each mode uses unique semiotic resources to convey meaning. It should be explicitly taught. This teaching prepares students to be successful in this millennium as a reader-weaver. Students need skills and strategies to navigate, interpret, and understand visual design elements, to make sense of written language, to change and grow in complexity, to comprehend written text, for example, inferring, summarizing, asking questions, and predicting. Skills to discuss aspects of visual images such as modality, framing, and composition. There are some theories that explain multiliteracy learning and teaching. The New London Group introduced in 1996 the concept of multiliteracy. They suggest that it is an active, dynamic, meaning-making process and not something controlled by rules. They further describe how any conversion can be reproduced and transformed using a semiotic activity. Bill Cope and Mary Kalantzis have explained the changing literacy teaching and learning, revisiting the pedagogy of multiliteracies through their research. The four resources model by Peabody and Luke explain the conceptualization of the resources readers utilize and role of readers during reading. It further discusses four roles: readers as code breakers, readers as text participants, readers as text users, and readers as text analysts. I have added a sample lesson for Year 5 students to learn and to display how we can teach multiliteracy for primary students. I have selected the book The Island by Emin Grader. This text deals with emotional issues such as refugee, racism, humanity and inhumanity, acceptance of difference, communities and fear. It will need to be explored with care and sensitivity. First, let students read the book by themselves and recognize visual elements, and then they are unpacked in a class discussion. Then students' task is to apply what they learn to their real life. They need to find at least 5 images they see on the way home from school and identify their visual elements and how they impact on the text. The learning intention of the lesson is learning to recognize the visual elements used in text and describe their effect on the viewer.
I hope I have covered as much as possible within this limited time, even though this is a vast topic. Thank you, everyone.